It's Jeff here, Roots and Rhythm. I have the honor, the absolute privilege today of hanging out with Natalie Del Carmen. Now, Natalie just released a single today, and it's called Plans Upon Plans. It is amazing. Anywhere that you stream your music, make sure you check it out. Natalie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jeff?
I'm great, great. Natalie, we tried to connect during Americana Fest, which is a crazy time, but you actually had a pretty amazing Americana Fest, didn't you?
I did. It was my first one, so it was an honor to be there. It was a really great week. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to play the legendary, historic Bluebird Cafe. You did a writer's round there with David Starr and actually some really cool folks that I know. That's not to say that David Starr isn't cool. I just haven't had any encounters with David. But you were there with Goldpine, Cassie, and Ben, who are two of my favorite people in all of music. So how was that playing that writer's round there at the Bluebird Cafe?
It was amazing. I had like a lot of anxiety going into it. It was my first round ever. So, and I think also my first like live show in Nashville as well. So, it was a really great night, and I felt grateful too because David, Cassie, and Ben like all knew it was my first time, so they
Yeah.
kind of took over and let me just kind of like try and gauge what was going on half the time. But it was great. They made me feel really comfortable and kind of started the show off and led the crowd through it. So I got to see, especially Cassie, just do such a great job with that. She's great with crowd work. I could learn a lot from her.
Yeah. So what gave you so much anxiety about playing the Bluebird in Nashville during Americana Fest?
I think it was like just getting the set list right was important to me. I know the venue itself having good storytelling music and bringing just good stories to the table, I think was important to me. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what to play and all that. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, so with Americana Fest, you did a few other things there as well. But overall, how was your time in Nashville as someone who's from LA, going to Nashville for something like Americana Fest? How was that?
It was new. I mean, the last 2 years, I met, like, a musical collective. I went to music school, and I've been recording music in Nashville since I've been putting out music, but I hadn't really, like, touched Nashville in a way that was maybe in a more professional way, so it was good to just get out of the box of just recording and actually do things and meet people and see the type of music that's down there, and it was really truly like at least top one, two, or three of times where I felt actually inspired by people and found good music to follow afterwards. Because sometimes that's not always the case. So I found a few artists that I really enjoyed and have been listening to since.
Who are those artists, if you don't mind sharing with us?
Goldpine is one of them. I've been playing
Yeah.
a lot of their stuff. Um, off the bat, I don't know if you got to see them at all, but I became aware of a band named, I think it's Wild Bill and the Bruisers. Do you know them?
They were part of the Whiskey Jam, is that correct?
They were, yes, when we were
Okay.
doing Whiskey Jam. I mean, phenomenal players, phenomenal band, great stage presence, and it was really hard to follow them. But I've been listening to their album. I think it's called "Cutting the Mustard." It's really good. You have to listen to them. So I tell Alex at Torres Music Group, I'm like, hey, if they wonder why there's like 1,000 streams from Los Angeles, it's me.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you have another single that you released earlier this year too,
Yeah.
El Cortez, and
Yeah.
this is all for the upcoming album that you have coming out. Is it going to be in 2026?
It is. It was
Okay.
gonna be in November, but we pushed it. We wanted to, like, focus more on a few singles and keep doing singles to try and see what happens with those. So, yeah, early January is Pastures comes out.
Okay. Good deal. So the
Yeah.
song El Cortez, what is that really like about?
It's my favorite song I've written. I have written a few songs about my mom, but it's taken me 23, 4 years to write a song about my dad. We have a very special relationship, and I think I just never wanted to write something that, like, felt cheesy, and I wanted to just wait to have something to write about for him, and I have family in Las Vegas, so for
Okay.
Christmas, we went and I gambled for the first time with my dad at the El Cortez Hotel. So that is the name of that. And it I was driving home and I was in the back seat, and has been a lot of my life where my parents are in the front seat and I'm in the back seat. And I always have my headphones on, pretending I'm in a music video. That's been my childhood growing up with them. And I just had a really good, I guess, song idea about how I wanted to highlight all the ways that people should feel rich in life that don't involve money. Um, so yeah, kind of like we were gambling together, but I just felt very emotionally rich with my dad, and that's the heart of the song, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so incredible. So, I mean, so is it a drive then from LA to Vegas? I know that
Yeah.
a lot of folks out there on the West Coast tend to do that.
Yes.
Um, like how is that drive? What is there something magical about it? I mean, it seems like you're going from one really cool place to another.
Yes. It's one of my favorite drives. You go through a lot of different things. You can take multiple routes there. So
Mhm.
there's one that goes through a town called Victorville, I think, which we used to take that route. But sometimes you go through Barstow. I don't know if you know Barstow, but it's kind of the first town that you get out of that doesn't feel like LA anymore. So it's nice to see the slow transition into out of city life and kind of moving towards the desert. And getting into Vegas, I forget the actual name, but it's like called we call it Little Vegas. You pass through a Little Vegas with a couple casinos, and then you hit Big Vegas. So it's one of my favorite drives. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I've only been to Vegas once, and it's been a minute since I've been to LA, but
yeah,
probably need to change that at some point in time.
yeah. I love Vegas. It's fun. It's definitely fun if you enjoy sort of gambling, I guess, and just seeing very interesting people in Vegas as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So there's always been this mystique that kind of goes with LA and California as a whole. Growing up in the era that I did, not to age myself, but the Red Hot Chili Peppers have always talked about, California and Californication and the impact that California has had on music and just culture in general. It being in LA, I mean, how does that influence your music?
It really has completely. I think sometimes when you grow up somewhere and it's considered home, you overlook a lot of the big picture things, but I don't take for granted growing up here because since I was a little kid, music has been a part of my life, whether it's like friends of friends who are in music, people who are in entertainment and pursuing creative careers. So I think that's why I like Los Angeles, and I've always felt encouraged to pursue a creative career here. And I feel like there's people that can't say that in certain parts of the world where maybe there's a different expectation about what career you go into. Um, so I think that's what LA is best for. I mean, you're surrounded by endless different cultures and people and music and food. I love the food in LA. And I think I took it for granted for a really long time. And then now that I'm like trying to do this professionally, I look back at my childhood and I'm like, I was really surrounded by music for a lot of my life. And I don't think a lot of people had that. So I feel grateful to have grown up here and be in a family that encourages art. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of folks in the creative space out there that are very supportive as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, just at my high school, the amount of just creative people, and I was in band for a lot of middle school and high school, so I think a lot of people do that, but just the ability to go to a concert, I mean, everyone rolls through here at some point in every genre, so I never if I had a favorite artist, there would always be a stop here, so I never had to drive anywhere to go see anybody, which was great.
Is there any particular show that kind of sticks out, or maybe top 3 or 5 shows that maybe stick out in your head?
Oh yeah, I think I decided I wanted to pursue music for sure, no doubt, when I saw the Lumineers at the Hollywood Bowl. That was like that was a religious experience. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're my favorite.
Okay. Good deal. And have you been to Hollywood Bowl quite a bit, or?
I really haven't. I've only seen them, and then sometimes they do these concert series where it's kind of orchestral music. So I went to a few of those as a kid. But
Okay.
honestly, no, I missed Brandy Carlisle when she was here last year, which was a downer for me. I don't know how I missed that, but I did.
Yeah, you know what? At Americana Fest, like Brandy Carlisle was everywhere. That's one of those things about Americana Fest. It's such like a magical experience in your own because you'll run into Brandy Carlisle somewhere. And, this year it seemed like for me, everywhere I went, Allison Russell
Yeah.
happened to be there.
Oh
And
yeah.
like it's simply, incredible, just kind of based on that. So it's funny that you mentioned Brandy Carlisle because anyone who follows you on TikTok can see some of the covers that you do on there. And,
Yeah.
it looks like for a while you're trying to do the whole, Taylor talk type thing. And, but recently you posted a Brandy Carlisle song. How has Brandy influenced your musical journey?
Completely. I She is an idol for me in many, many ways. I mean, I'm sure I know every lyric to everything she's ever released.
Yeah.
Um, I think she is someone I look up to just as a person as well and what she stands for, and in her music. For a long time, I did, like, pop music when I was in college, music school. It's kind
Mhm.
of a thing, at least maybe in the female demographic, like, everyone does pop music, or when you're learning songwriting, a lot of it is based on pop music because it's like learning an algorithm. So I sort of got into that thinking that's what I needed to do. And then growing up in LA, that's all I've totally been exposed to. But I think through Brandy and the Lumineers, I kind of accepted like I really need to get into Americana because I think that's the kind of music I want to write, and I love storytelling, and she completely brought me into that. So I credit her and her writing to bring me into that and kind of make me switch genres into what I really wanted to do.
Yeah, Natalie, you definitely have a very unique and extremely genuine way
Thanks.
of relaying your narrative through your music. And I think the Americana space is perfect. I mean, I'm not one for categories and what have you,
Yeah,
but the Americana space is very welcoming, very inclusive, and most of the music is pretty incredible as well.
it is. I'm like learning this year, you can really write about anything and people find identity in it. You're not really locked into topics. It's a good genre to be cynical in terms of worldview things, but still find bittersweet themes. And that's the kind of music I like, are people who talk about life and maybe harder things and find ways to relate to people. I guess that's my favorite type of music to listen to. And I think Brandy does that really well.
Yeah, there's the whole duality of our existence, right? That's good and bad. And focusing on too much of either of them is a little bit it's probably not good
Yeah, for
for
sure.
anybody's conscience, but
Yeah, I agree.
all right. So we mentioned TikTok, the Brandy Carlisle cover, and Taylor Swift. You've done a couple of Taylor songs. What's your favorite Taylor song?
Um, I think it's Cowboy Like Me or Ivy. So definitely the Folklore Evermore kind of
Oh,
world. So, and if not that, probably a lot from her first record. I think those are my favorites. What about you?
for me, it's Blank Space.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah, Blank
classic.
Space is just there's something about it.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and then when Ryan Adams did that whole, redo of her album and did that version of it,
Yeah.
it just changed the way that from a male perspective, it was just a little bit different.
Mhm.
Um, and I kind of appreciate it. But yeah, I love Taylor's music. I just,
Me
I
too.
let people
Me too.
know, right off the bat that yes, indeed, a guy, 50-year-old man from the Chicago suburbs loves Taylor Swift's music because once again, there's something about that storytelling and narrative that's just, truly, truly amazing.
I agree, and as you should. I think she's done a really good job at reinventing herself. I think she is great at finding new avenues, and she's not afraid, I think, to switch up genres, and sometimes I think that messes with people, but I like it. I feel like an artist should always find new ways to do their music and who they work with and what it sounds like, so I think she pulls a lot of different people for that reason, I think.
Yeah, it's a funny thing when you talk about genres and kind of, I guess, blurring the lines a little bit as far as genres are concerned or people jumping genres and stuff like that. Um, it's always a very interesting conversation because people who are fans of a specific genre tend to very much have their own perception of what that genre should look like, sound like. A lot of the purists and what have you, um, they can be mean sometimes. I guess
Yeah.
just to put it lightly.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's true. Yeah, all that is true. Yeah.
All right. So, Natalie, one of the questions I've been asking a lot of the artists that I've been speaking with now recently, they announced that Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes.
I'm excited about it. Bad Bunny is truly incredible. I don't know what he doesn't do well. I don't know. Appease, certain people for whatever reason, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But so say Natalie Del Carmen's playing the Super Bowl halftime show. So, and this is something that's probably happening in the future, Natalie. I'm telling you.
I love it.
Um,
Thank you.
so, is there a contemporary that you would like to play with at the Super Bowl halftime show, and then also a nostalgic act, maybe, and then maybe somebody outside of the Americana genre that would be part of the halftime show, just to make it, extremely entertaining.
I love that. I would hope that the football audience would maybe be open to the Americana genre, and if they are, I'd pick Brandy in terms of maybe bigger outreach. That's a thumbs up there.
Yeah.
Maybe historical, I'd probably go just this past couple weeks, I've gotten into John Prine. It took me a really long time to get around to his music. So
Okay.
something about John Prine, I think, would rock the Super Bowl. And outside of this genre, oh, let me think. Um, do you know the band Haim? It's like Haim. They're
Oh
kind of
yeah, yeah. They're
yeah, I pick
sisters.
them. I think they're
Oh, they're
great.
incredible.
They're so good. I pick them.
Okay. Well, I mean, John Prime wouldn't be able to make it because unless we
This
do
is
some
true.
type of, thing with that, I don't
Yes.
know. It's
If he could, I would have him make it.
a
If it
hologram. We can do the hologram thing.
yes, absolutely. I think so.
So yeah, John Prine from Chicago. Big shout out.
Yes. Yes.
Big shout out there.
Shout out.
Singer songwriter type things. So you played your first round in Nashville at the Bluebird Cafe. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Um, your first time doing a writer's round. What do you think about writers' rounds in LA? Would it work out there, or what do you think?
I think I was just having this conversation with a friend that I have actually. It kind of doesn't exist here. It's sort of depressing. Like maybe I should start one. I think it exists. Like there's So Far Sounds, that company. They do some acoustic showcases and more songwriter or singer-songwriter round type of shows, but
Mhm.
it's not a thing here. I think it should be because I think there's more people like me here than I think compared to Nashville. But um, I think in Nashville too, people are like very supportive. Everyone in Nashville music wants to hear each other play and who's doing what. And I don't know if I can totally say the same about LA all of the time, but it's just LA is beautiful because people work really hard here, I think. Some people might argue with influencer culture, like that's not the case anymore. But I do think people in LA have a huge drive and you can just feel it. But sometimes that translates into I don't know what the right word is, like maybe not ego, but you focus a lot on yourself in LA and what you're doing and what's going on. So I don't know if rounds would totally make sense here, but it would be nice to have more so I could do them.
Is it just like more competitive in LA, and people
I
are
think so.
maybe
Yeah.
more out for themselves and
Yes.
a little bit self-absorbed, maybe? I mean,
Yes. You got
and
it.
not in a
That's the
bad, and it's not to say like in a bad thing to be self-absorbed. I mean, sometimes it can be, but
yeah. It's hard because I see the rhetoric about it online, a lot of people who are transplanted into LA and I see that and I understand that and I do see it. But I think when you're from here too, like I just like recognize people that I grew up with and it's very different. I think when you grew up here, you recognize people a different way and you see things differently. I don't know. I think maybe people could say that about anywhere they're from, you know. But yeah.
yeah, it's a very interesting take because I feel Nashville is a lot of transplants as well. But
Yeah,
like you
it's
said, it seems like there is some type of In Nashville, there seems like everybody kind of has like their community, their own, take on Nashville and what have you, and like their own scene that they're a part of, and
Yeah.
everything as well. And yeah, the talents, I mean, is incredible. And I'm sure in LA, I mean, it's exactly, the same way. But I mean, the talent pool is incredible.
Yeah.
Anybody who's playing, on Broadway,
Yes.
doing the circuit, all of those artists are, I mean, great, great musicians.
It's very true, and especially in the genre that we're talking about today for Nashville. I think for LA, if you're in like pop and rap and hip hop, there's a community here that goes to bat for you. So I definitely think in those types of genres, it's very strong in LA and still very alive.
Is there any influence on your music from those particular genres, like through hip hop and pop music?
Honestly, yeah. I think Haim is one that I think of. There's an indie band, kind of rockish, called Hippocampus. Do you know Hippocampus?
I'm not familiar, but I'm going to check them out.
They have great their production is phenomenal. Great players. They're great. Hippocampus is probably big. Um, I can't think off the top of my head right now, but I'd say those two. I do enjoy pop music for fun and just to have it in the car with friends. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for pop music. I think it's hard. It's hard to write a hook. It's really hard. It can be hard.
I was just going to say that, like a catchy tune, like something that's catchy where people are just singing it. Come on now. Yeah, that's
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to work on that. It's easy sometimes in the Americana country world to get the storytelling down, but it can be a lot harder to get a good melody in there and get both at the same time.
well, I'm very optimistic that in the future people are going to be singing your music and you'll be doing some really incredible things. Natalie, if anybody's looking to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all of the social media platforms under Natalie Del Carmen. And same with streaming. Yeah, you can find me anywhere on Google. It's all under my name, my birth name. So yeah.
Perfect. Love it. So yeah, make sure that you're following Natalie on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're getting your music from. Add her to your playlist. Tell your friends about Natalie's music after you listen to it because it is truly incredible. Natalie, thank you so much for your time. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. And hopefully we get to meet in person sometime soon here.
I hope so too. I'll be in Nashville more, and hopefully you will be too. Maybe next year at Americana Fest we can cross paths again.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing. So
I
thank you so much again for your time, Natalie.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for doing this.
Best
Bye.
of luck to you.
Thanks.